get this going. So we're going to use that to just kind of jiggle some of the stuck tissue loose. Gross. Um, and it's Sunday fun day. So if I'm weird, this is what you signed up for. So here you go. Starting a yoga practice with a threat. All going so well. Great. So the rolled up blanket underneath the thighs, and then close your eyes and just move from side to side. And depending on intensity, you may want to stay up a little bit on the knees and then slowly lower down. You'll know what's right for you once you get going. Let's come into our breath. What's going on with your breath today? We are entering into allergy season. And I know at least for me personally, the breath becomes even more important at this time because it's harder to get, harder to release. So we'll focus in on extending the breath down to the root. Just gently still rocking back and forth. And maybe you move the blanket just to catch a different space. You can move it anywhere from underneath the knees all the way to the ankles. And I'm always surprised at how much the ankles need this. Just making those little observations in your own body. Long, slow, deep breaths into the belly. And out through the nose, drawing the navel in toward the spine. Letting the shoulders relax, the neck is long. And we'll start to interlace our fingers behind our back, drawing the shoulders down from the ears, drawing the hands back down toward the earth. And once you've come into this position, start to draw the shoulder blades apart. Or another way of contextualizing this is to draw the hands apart. So creating some resistance, feeling that opening in the chest. Begin to lift the arms. If you start to tip forward, come back to that center position. Just let the hands drop. And lifting the chest, lifting the crown of the head. Breathe. Maybe you're still moving back and forth once you've found this position in the arms. We're going to start to find stillness in the lower body. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder and bring the hands over toward the right hip. Sorry, no, the left hip. A few weeks ago, I lost all sense of left and right, so please bear with me. It'll come back eventually. So we're opening the right side neck. Let the right shoulder drop down, the elbow is bent, and the hands are interlaced with the left hand on the left hip. If you want to continue to find movement, tipping the chin up and down, gently, very gently, finding and making space in the neck. And maybe for a moment, becoming aware of the lower body. So if there's any tension in the feet, or the knees, if you can let that go. And maybe as your chin is moving up and down, you discover a spot or a place that needs a hold, that needs a stretch. Breathing deep into that space. Rounds of breath. And then release your head to center, release your arms behind your back. And we'll take a forward fold, letting the crown of the head come down to the earth, let the arms come up overhead. And this is an opportunity to ground your crown. So feeling that grounding sensation come up through the top of your head. Again, draw the shoulder blades apart so you're not collapsing over the neck, but drawing the shoulders apart. Inhale all the way back up. And then drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And both hands come to the right hip. And then neck opening on the left side, let the right shoulder relax. Breathe into the neck. I wonder what brought you to your mat today. Maybe there's an obvious answer. Maybe there's one that's less obvious, allowing that to show itself to you as this practice unfolds. And tipping the chin up and down, finding that movement if it feels right to do so. If stillness feels right, stay still. Our neck is our own personal business. So, I keep trying to talk about it like it's deeply private. What I mean by that is what we need is deeply personal. Maybe you find a place for stillness and hold that stretch, reaching up toward the sky, front edge of the neck or beneath the ear. Deep breath. Then start to float your head to center, release your arms behind your back. We'll fold forward again, coming to the crown of the head, grounding your crown chakra. Tuck the chin in toward the chest. Draw the shoulder blades apart, reach back through the hand. Inhale all the way up. Step the right foot next to the left knee. Sit up nice and tall. And I'm keeping the blanket underneath here and just gently tipping back and forth. So tipping back toward the heel and a little bit forward. It's just a gentle rocking or swaying motion. And then begin to shift forward, drawing your right heel down toward the ground, but you're up on the right toes. You'll feel this in the back of the right calf. I guess there's only a back to the right calf. You'll feel it in your right calf. There we go. All right, and begin to slide the right foot forward, coming into a low lunge, front knee over front ankle. Feeling that opening in the left leg. Loop your shoulders back, so open the chest, nice long neck. And then begin to shift the hips back, turning toes toward the face, flexing the foot. And we'll simply lower the toes, keep the leg long. Woo. Feeling the stretch at the top of the foot in the ankle. All toes are grounded. Nice, beautiful stretch. Shift back into low lunge. And then begin to walk your toes off your mat. Send the right knee out to the side. You can stay up on your hands for this or come down onto the forearms if your body is able to do that at this moment. Ground everything but the right big toe. Lift the right big toe up off the earth. All right, and we're just touching on these stretches to start. So we'll walk the foot back towards center, shift back, right knee comes to meet the left. Walk your hands all the way back, lift the knees up off the floor. We're stretching the tops of the feet. Lift chest and heart. If you can relax your toes. And walk yourself forward. Left foot stands next to the right knee. And I'm putting my blanket back in and making that little tipping motion back and forth. The one thing that has puzzled me is the shin. I feel like there's always this buildup in that area for me, and it's just not a place we reach in our practice. Enough, I think. So this is my practice to get into that space and that the top of the ankle to the ankle. All right, let's tip forward, coming up onto the left toes, drawing the left heel down toward the floor. Again, maybe you're feeling that stretch, maybe not, but we're just becoming aware of that space. You can even use your hand to massage the back of the leg there. And then slide the left foot forward, coming into a low lunge. Rotate the shoulders back. Open chest and heart. Front knee over front ankle. Feel that opening at the top of the right thigh. Nice long neck. And begin to shift your hips back, coming onto the heel. Flexing the toes back toward the face. Draw the kneecap back toward the hip so that your leg is not locked or caving in. Keeping some integrity there. And then we begin to lower the toes. Still drawing that left hip back. Nice deep stretch in the leg. Find where you're tensing and see if you can let that go. Begin to shift forward into low lunge. Again, walking your toes off the mat, foot on an angle. Lift only the big toe. Everything else is grounded. If you can, drop the left knee out to the side, come onto your palms or down onto the forearms. And relax the neck. Relax the face. And let's start to walk that left foot back towards center. Replace it next to the right leg. And walk your hands back, lifting the knees up off the floor. And surely this will feel different now that we've moved through that sequence. Lower the knees, come forward into table. Let's tuck the toes under and take some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, navel the spine. And we're going to have the toes tucked under for a surprise ending. But if it feels better to you to have the tops of the feet to the earth, certainly do that. But just know that at some point, you will need to tuck your toes. Again, mildly threatening yoga. I think that's what I'm going to label this. And a few more rounds of breath, inhaling to drop the belly, reaching that chest and heart forward. Exhale the navel to the spine. One more round. And then come to a flat back belly in toward the spine. Lift the knees up off the floor. So this is where your toes are tucked. Hover. Draw the shoulder blades apart. Send your hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Lower the right heel, bend the left knee. Lower the left heel, bend the right knee. And then shift back into beast, lowering the knees toward the floor, just hovering an inch or two. Long neck. And send the hips back and up. Right heel to the earth. And left heel to the earth. Shift forward, back into beast. Belly in toward the spine. Remove the curve from your spine. Space between the shoulder blades. Long neck. And send the hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Right heel lowers. And left heel lowered. Begin to walk your hands back towards your feet into a forward fold. So we're going to bring our toes and heels together in our forward fold. And begin to walk the fingertips over toward the right side. Look under the, my shirt, look under the left shoulder or armpit. Look under the left arm toward the sky. And walk the fingertips back to center forward fold. And walk the fingertips over toward the left side, looking under the right arm, up toward the sky. And walk it back through center, coming up onto the toes. So this is a sequence where a block would be really nice. Only I had a little assistant. That'd be so nice. But placing a block underneath the hands for balance. We'll inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Crown of the head reaches down. nose toward the knee. And then slowly lower down into your forward fold. And roll back onto the heels. So your toes are flexed back towards your face. Everything but the heels is up off the ground. And again, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold, drawing the navel up and in. Crown of the head reaches down, nose toward the knee. And begin to lower the toes. We'll send the right toes back. Lift the right leg. And then begin to cross the right leg behind the left. And if you can, bring the little toes together or some approximation of that. So sometimes thighs don't allow for that, and that's okay, but we're lining up the little toes of both feet. Little micro bend in the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs, just as we've done before. Crown of the head reaches down, nose toward the knee. Nice, deep, beautiful stretch. The shirt is the worst. Two more rounds of breath here. And then we uncross the legs. Right foot comes to meet the left. Come up onto the toes. So as far forward onto the toes as you can go. Up onto the tippy toes even if you can, and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold, belly toward the spine, nose toward the knee, crown of the head down toward the earth. One more round of breath. And begin to lower into your forward fold. Just feel yourself melt down toward the earth. All four corners of both feet grounded, big toes together, heels together. And then roll back onto your heels. You have that block, moving it closer to you, drawing the kneecaps up. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let that neck relax. Let the jaw relax. We settle into any rumblings. Any, I can't do this, or I give up, or I hate you, Elizabeth. Just lean into it. And lower the toes to the earth. Send the left leg back, lift, and then send it over toward the outside edge of the right foot. And we're lining up the pinky toes on this side. So little micro bend in the back knee, so as not to lock the back knee. We inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Folding over the legs, grounding all four corners of both feet. And there's always a stretch that's our kryptonite. And you guys practice enough to know what I'm talking about. So I wonder if during this practice, if your kryptonite comes up, lean into that. Why has that come up for you today? Really learning from
the postures we avoid or from the places that are stuck. And 2 more rounds of breath. And we begin to move the left foot back to meet the right. Inhale all the way up to standing and exhale the hands to heart center. So we're going to take a shake out, meaning move your legs, shake your legs, be silly, be wobbly, shake it around. We got pretty serious with our legs there for a bit, so we want to invite some silliness, a sense of humor into the legs. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale the arms back up to the sky, and exhale the hands to heart center. So we're gonna do 2 more like that. Inhale the arms up, little bend in the knee, exhale the forward fold. Inhale the arms up, and exhale the hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, arms up. Exhale the forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale the hands to heart center. Let's step the right foot forward and turn the back foot on a little bit of an angle. We're going to come into a warrior 1. So slight angle in the back foot, round the back edge of the back foot, bend into the front knee, arms reach up. Inhale the arms up, straighten the front leg, exhale, fold. So we don't want too much of a distance between the legs that we can't come into this forward fold with the front leg straight. So if your knee bends here, step the back foot up a little bit. You guys know what you're doing, but just in case. Let's inhale, bend the knee, come back up. And exhale the hands to heart center. So same pattern of breath. Inhale the arms up with the knee bent. Exhale, straighten the leg, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Nice, beautiful stretch. Bend into the knee, inhale back up. And exhale the hands to heart center. Oh boy, balance is weird for me today. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, straighten the leg, forward fold. Bend into the front knee, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale the hands to heart center. Step the back foot up to meet the front foot, shake out the right foot. So I'm moving from the back of my mat to the front of my mat. I don't know if it's working out for you guys perfectly. I'm really proud of myself for making that happen, but maybe it's not that way for you. But we're moving up, so the left foot steps forward. Right foot comes on an angle, setting yourself up, squared hips, bend into the front knee, arms reach up overhead, warrior 1. Ground the back edge of the back foot. So that's an inhale to reach up. We exhale the forward fold, straighten the front leg. So your left toes are pointing forward. Bend into the front knee, inhale, arms up. And exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Straight leg. Beautiful, bend into the knee. Reach up. Exhale the hands to heart center. One more time like that. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend into the front knee. Inhale, come up, warrior 1. And exhale the hands to heart center. We're going to transition into a warrior 3, grounding all 4 corners of the left foot. Come up onto the right toes. Send the crown of the head forward. Send the belly button down toward the earth. Square the hips. Lift the back leg. You can keep your hands at heart center, or if you need your arms for balance, bring them out to your sides. Lengthen the spine, square the hips. Big toe points down. Step the right foot up to meet the left foot, and we'll transition into the other side. So just send the left leg back, hands to heart center. finding your balance. Square the hips, lengthen the spine. And release the left leg. Inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step it back into a plank. And we lower all the way down onto our bellies. And make sure that you have space around the arms so that you can reach your arms forward and around and back. Okay, that's a little preview. All right, so we are going to lengthen one leg and then the other, finding that space, grounding the pubic bone. Send the arms forward. Allow the nose to hover just above the mat. So your neck is still long. Lift the legs up off the floor, reach back through the toes, and then we begin to swim the arms back and forward. Let the thumbs touch, and then your pinkies don't touch, but you're reaching them toward one another. Or maybe they do, which is incredible. Deep breaths. You are swimming through a magical ocean. You are a mermaid. Drawing the belly in toward the spine. Keep going. And we have 3, 2, and 1. Let your arms rest at your sides, left ear to the mat, big toes together, heels wide. Heart feet connected to the earth. Let's bring our arms out to our sides, take a chest stretch. So right arm, we start first on a nice good angle. Nice good angle. Lift the left leg, bend at the knee, foot comes over towards the right side. And by nice good angle, I mean that the angle seems to change. Go straight out from the shoulder, or your choice. And we're gonna create movement in the upper arm, drawing circles. So it seems to me, this is just my observation, that stillness or inactivity, I don't know, not moving, not having the same ranges of motion is like our biggest enemy. It's our times of rest that can be, the worst for us. So let's reverse the circle in the upper arm. So sometimes I like to infuse a lot of random movements into the practice just to keep things moving. 2 more rounds of breath. And bring it through center. We'll switch to the other side. So the other component of this stretch is the belly, which I often kind of forget because I'm focusing on that chest and shoulder situation. So we're drawing circles with our top arm, but also noticing that if we tip the knee out to the side or if we stand the other foot on the earth, that there's other stretches here. There's other things going on. We're taking this time to observe the body. Deep breaths. I think this is my favorite stretch. I think if you were like, stay here for 10 minutes, I'd be like, heck yes, and more. And reverse the circle with the arm. We'll start to bring it back to center. Bend at the knees, reach your hands back for your feet. Walk the knees together. And first, we're just going to lift the legs up off the floor. So press the hands into the feet into the hands. Keep your forehead grounded on the earth and lift the thighs up off the floor. And release. This time, chest only, thighs grounded. So this is actually how most people do this stretch, with their legs still on the floor. So we're just finding our way, finding our alignment. Passing hands into the feet. All right, and lower the forehead. This time we're going to do both upper body and lower body at the same time, full bow pose. Lift. Feet into the hands, hands into the feet. Lift the chest and heart, reach the crown of the head back toward the feet. Lift, lift, lift. Keep lifting. And release. Coming onto your right ear, arms to your sides, palms face up, big toes together, heels wide. It's always so nice and comforting to have your belly to the earth. Breathe into that comfort. All right, and we're going to start to walk the knees out mat distance or more apart and bring the soles of the feet together. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and then forward until your elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. So it's a diamondback sphinx, I don't know. Roll the shoulders down the back and then bring the heels together, bring the toes apart. And find length in the spine. Connect the soles of the feet together. Walk your hands back toward your ribs. Drop the feet down toward the floor. Shift through a child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Two more rounds of breath in, extended child's pose, sinking the hips back toward the heels, filling the back body with breath. Grounding the third eye. And then begin to walk your hands back toward the knees. We'll bring the knees together, the feet wide, so a reverse of what we had, and sink into a hero. So if you need a blanket, a pillow, or a block underneath the hips, bringing that in now. I always play cautious in this posture, so I always go for support first. Feel out how I am, and then if it feels like I've got the room and the space, then I sink in. But I have knee paranoia, so maybe you're more comfortable with that part of your body, and that's okay. So we just want to be careful and feeling that opening. Notice if your body is tipping forward. Let's shift that back. Nice tall spine. And then maybe you start to walk the fingertips behind you. Draw the belly button up and in as you sink your hands down to the earth. And maybe from there you have the room to come down onto your forearms. Maybe you come all the way down to the ground and bring your arms up overhead, hands to elbows. There's also an option to bring a bolster along the spine to help support you wherever you're at. And begin to relax the toes, relax the ankles, relax the knees. Sometimes the things that we're hanging on to in our knees, things that we overthink about, ways that we're inflexible, that we only seem to move in one direction. I'm going to try and breathe into that space, into me. If we can flush out any inflexibility. Allow the energy to flow freely throughout the rest of the body with the breath, with the pulse. And if you're lying down, now would be a good time to come up onto the forearms. And then everyone shifting back up to that upright seated position. And begin to walk your hands forward, tuck the toes under, shift your hips back and up, downward facing dog. You'll feel the intensity in your knees. Keep your knees bent, belly to the thigh. And then slowly we pedal out one leg and then the other. So this could be almost too intense if we don't take it slowly. But allow this time to unfold. One foot and then the other, extending out to the back of the leg. And then shift forward onto the knee. Walk your hands back toward the knees and stand up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the lower back. Slipping your hands in your mom jean pockets. We press the hips forward, thighs against the wall. Open chest and heart. Draw the elbows toward one another. Open across the chest. And then slowly begin to sink your hips back toward your heels, sitting here. Deep breaths. Close your eyes, send that energy out from the heart space. So any intensity you're feeling right now, feel it shift out and through the arms, down the torso, through the legs, and it makes space. Sometimes love feels the same as pain. Or I mean emotional pain, not physical pain. You should not be in physical pain. But sometimes they're one and the same, right? Loving someone can hurt. And so when we send out that love from the heart center, where it's not as concentrated, then we get to appreciate the space that it creates. All right, we're going to do that one more time, standing up on the knees, crossing the hips forward, hands to the lower back. This time, maybe taking your hands to your ankles Right hand and then the left. Chest and heart open, rolling the shoulders open. Thrust the hips forward. No jamming in the lower back. We're lifting up out of the lower back. Start to slowly bring it back. Sitting back on the heels, closing the eyes. Letting that intensity move out from center. And shift your hips over to the left side, feet to the right, bring your legs out long in front of you. If your feet are not at the bottom of your mat, use your bum to walk to the bottom of the mat, mostly because it's fun. Very impressive to do. Look at my bum muscles, look what they can do. All right, let's send the arms forward, roll the shoulders back. And slowly lower all the way down to the earth. When you get about halfway, hold. Nice long spine. Lower one more, stay. Lower one more and stay. And lower all the way to the mat. Arms reach up overhead, point the toes, nice big stretch. Long and lean and wonderful. Let's take a twist. Arms to your sides, either in goddess or in T position. Lift your hips to the left side of your mat, draw your knees into your chest and let them fall over to the right side. Option here to extend the top leg long and reach for the big toe with your right hand. Settle into your breath. And start to wind it back to center. Take a moment to pause between the twists. This is my favorite time of the practice. Something about it. What did you come for today? What is the true intention of your practice? Maybe the answer is different now than it was at the beginning. When you're ready, arms in. Girlfriend? No, goddess. Arms in girlfriend. Okay, shift your hips to the right side of your mat. Draw your knees into your chest and let them fall over to the left side. Staying here, or maybe extending the top leg long. Left fingers grab the right big toe. Twist with an IT man stretch with girlfriend arms. Maybe you're scooping up that left shoulder blade and facing it back down, so both shoulders are grounded. If the big toe is not enough, you can always reach for the outside edge of the right foot. So part of the reason that my vocals today have been crazy and erratic is that hip hop songs keep playing in my head. Like for instance, Akon's Smack That is currently in my head and it makes me want to smack my outer thigh. So maybe that's something that would feel really juicy and nice to you. Who knows? And beginning to unwind. We'll send the knees from side to side, massaging the lower back, preparing it for our time of rest. Arms at your sides, palms face up, legs out long. Yes, sink into your mat. Let the earth rise up to meet you and hold you in this space. She above all others can support us when we are drained or depleted from supporting others. There is no better place to recharge than in her embrace. Maybe it's on your yoga mat, maybe it's outside, your back to the tree. Taking a few more long, slow, deep breaths. Filling up the belly, ribs, and chest. And exhaling chest, ribs, belly. One more just like that. Belly, ribs, chest. And exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And then just settle into normal breath. Feeling fueled, filled, or lightened. Let that beautiful energy travel all the way down to the feet, to the crown of the head. Though your body is heavy, you are light on the earth. Shoulders relax. Backs of the hands and heels relax. Hips and knees. Eyes and ears. Fingers and toes relax.
And let the tongue be heavy, let the jaw relax. As you feel your whole face soften, your chest soften, your belly, and the flesh of your thighs softens, your shins and your feet soften. You are light as you sink into the earth. We were guided today by the Fairy Godmother. She represents gifts, talents, grace, and helpful lessons. And she is called Sari. So Sari offers last minute rescues. When she turns up in our readings, in our lives, good things may well be happening that we don't think we deserve, or that we do deserve but haven't thought to ask for. Almost imperceptibly, she teaches us about giving and receiving unconditionally, helping us to open our hearts to love and acceptance. She sometimes showers us with abundance. Keep an eye out for unexpected good fortune, especially when you thought you saw bad luck headed your way. Remember to say thank you by passing a kindness onto someone else. Practice a little fairy godmothering yourself and see how enjoyable it is. Part of the fun of it is to do it so that the recipient doesn't know where the gift came from. That's our short and sweet message this morning. When you're ready, start to bring awareness back into your body. Movement in the fingers and toes, the wrists and ankles, getting out clicks and cracks. And I want to mention that you are coming back to life in mists. This is one of the best times to go inward and to explore the mystical. So it's really exciting. Standing your feet on the floor, mat distance apart, moving the knees from side to side, waking up the spine. You take this slow transition to honor this rebirth cycle And pausing for a moment with the knees together, right hand to the heart space, left hand to the belly. For your moment of gratitude, I invite you to find something that you're grateful for today and allow this gratitude to fill the heart space, to travel out with the pulse and with the breath. Gratitude being the greatest armor we have in this life, allowing us to be vulnerable and strong at once. To love without fear, to be kind without feeling weak. Both nourishes and protects us. It is an energetic win-win, which I believe is what the Fairy Godmother is all about as well. So lean into this energy of gratitude when you're ready, turning over onto your right side into the fetal position. A moment to receive the love of this practice in yourself. Notice that you showed up. That in itself is an act of love. So receive that love now with each breath. Maybe for a moment you recognize what it is to be cared for by yourself. It's powerful. Some powerful people here. And when you're ready, pressing up to seated, we'll close the class together. And rubbing the palms together to create some warmth in the hands. I'm doing circles today, which is, I usually do back and forth, but circles feel right today. And we need this on our jaws today. So we're going to place our hands either hovering over or right on your jaw. Letting the shoulders relax. Feel the warmth of your hand. And as you're ready, growing out from there, hands to your sides, closing your eyes, coming into this circle. You see before you a circle of energies, entities, beings, of everyone here present and those who we wish to send this feeling of connection to. And you now receive through your palms a feeling of connection from the root that connects us all in the song that sings the universe of kindness, compassion, empathy, community, supports, all of the ways in which we are not alone. We feel and receive this energy. Allow it to fill your heart space. And as you are full, we begin to step into the flow of giving and receiving. We receive through the right and give through the left. An endless flow of energy from right to left around the circle. And perhaps you see some people who you feel might need this. Perhaps you send an intention out through the left hand. Perhaps the intention that was set for yourself for your practice is something that is needed in the collective. And so as we receive it through the right, we give through the left. And flow is like prayer, communication with the divine. A way of speaking our heart. Allow your heart to speak now in this feeling of connection. Draw your hands to your heart. Everything you need is always already inside of you. And if you ever need this feeling, it's always there for you by connecting with the memory, the heartbeats, or the breath. Thank you so much for joining me today, always.